with a puzzling message from that rascal, the Riddler. The dynamic duo pinned the Riddler's ears back, but he tricked them with a $1 million lawsuit against
the soul of Detroit.
Glee for the Riddler. Gloom for
ML.
The Riddler had it made.
Detroit
City was aghast.
Shawn
Seemed utterly doomed. But wait, the worst is yet to come.
You asked it around your question around my face. It's gone.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That is not paid for by them. That is paid for by the people of Detroit.
You might be qualified, ML.
I'm not qualified for this job.
Let me tell you something. You want to go right now? Okay? You want to go right now, Albert?
Hey kids, it's your old pal ML Elric. You were warned. The worst is yet to come, and it's here. The prophecy has been realized. Shawn Windsor is back from Monument Valley in Utah, where he had a religious experience with Mitt Romney. Marc was here the whole time. Patrick's here, and we have a special guest, Sam Riddle, longtime host of Riddle at Random in print, on the radio, and now on your ballot for Congress in the 13th Congressional District. Sam and Shawn and I have a long history, nothing that that wouldn't be fit for print, and we appreciate you coming in, Sam.
Well, thank you, ML.
So we are going to first play a couple bills before we dive into the conversation. Luke Nowacki, if you've been watching the stock market, if you're thinking of retiring, if you're worried about your IRA or 401k, you should have called Luke a long time ago, but don't freak out as you see your portfolio plunge, because Luke has rational financial advice. Isn't that right, Mr. Fellhauer?
He absolutely does. Luke Nowacki, Pinnacle Wealth, 248-663-4748. Stocks, bonds. If you look at the graph today of the market, it goes boop down, and now it's going boop back up. Which
is it going up? I didn't see that.
It's a total U right now. I mean, it's better than what it's been doing, which was straight down, but Luke's the one that knows all about this. If you have a company, are you in the right investments? Do you have a pension fund? All that stuff. Get advice, get a strategy. Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth can help you out. 248-663-4748.
Because when you call Luke, he'll make it all about you, sweetheart.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Royal Alliance Associates Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates Inc.
So if you need money, somebody in the metro area has decided a really good source of funds is my bank accounts. We'll talk about that
my God.
a little bit later. But for the rest of you,
I feel like you're underselling that story. But
yeah,
go ahead.
there's because it only gets worse. But if you stick around to the end, you'll get the whole deal. But if you need to take money out of your house, Hall Financial, they can help you out.
What, Shawn? You don't have high interest credit card debt?
Oh, he does.
No, yeah, keep reading.
Do you have a home remodeling project that you need money to pay for?
I could if you want me to.
Sam, do you have a lot of debt?
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, if you did, now
But I do have a roof that needs fixing.
Well, there you go.
Well, now you need to get money out of your house. There you go, because the average home in America has gone up $30,000 in the last year alone.
Fact.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Hall Financial has a cash out refinance. You can consolidate all your debt with one manageable mortgage payment. You can get to your cash out refinance payment as little as 8 business days. 5,000 5-star reviews. Why would you go anywhere else? You can go online, check them out, callhallfirst.com, or call them 866-CALL-HALL.
That's right. And when you call Hall, let them know that ML sent you. And if you're looking for something to do, maybe a place to distract you from the many unfair things that have happened in the banking industry, or watching your portfolio crash. I bought Weight Watchers stock, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if they're helping people lose weight, but they certainly are slimming down the value of their shares very well. So nicely done, Florian Marc. But the
Did you really buy Weight Watchers stock?
Yeah.
Why? I'm just out of curiosity.
Because well, first of all, everybody I know is on Weight Watchers at one time or another. So it's one of those products that it seems like people use, and it's one of the few diet plans, and this is not a pitch from a shareholder, but it's one of the few diet plans that actually works, because people are like, I'm not going to eat bread, or I'm only going to eat butter. And you do that for like 6 months, you lose 90 pounds.
It's much better logic than diving into, say, their financials.
Then you go into a movie and no, because a product that people need.
Fair point.
And when it
the
hits,
burners and ice cream last night was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Watching
no, but
the
you
game.
run. You see, you've got a
Well,
plan.
yeah, I run.
You know, and Weight Watchers says you can eat that stuff. They don't tell you, hey, if you just have Crisco every morning, you can do whatever you want the rest of the day. You know, it's not like our buddy Rodney Pete telling us if you eat that tomato pill, you can do whatever the hell you want and lose weight. Now, Holly Robinson Pete looks slim, but Rodney Pete still looks a little fat to me.
Yeah, he's pudgy.
Yeah, so I'm not doing a lipozine. I'm Weight Watchers anyway. But anyways, if you're depressed by all that and you're looking for a way to turn away the blues, or maybe I think it's on Monday, you can hear the blues, go to the Caju Cafe where there's always something great going on. It's the pride of the East Side. Every Monday is an open blues jam and muscle madness. Tuesdays is Sweet and Funky, presented by Funk Night Records and Wolf Makes Beat. Wednesdays, karaoke. Thursday, LVRS, Modern Lady Fitness, and special guests take the stage. On Friday, Grateful Dead cover band Super Crunch play from 7 to 11. Saturday is packed with music. East Side Still Alive is outside, and Jim McCarty and the Johnny B. Badanchek birthday bash is inside. Just this weekend, Sunday and Monday, the cafe is closed for Memorial Day. So honor your veteran. Sam is a veteran. We're pleased to have him with us. He's a veteran who survived, so that's the way to do it.
Surviving Detroit is a lot rougher.
You could be Trump's hero because you're a veteran who lived, right?
Trump. Please.
No, okay, so we'll get to the politics in just a minute. But for more on the Caju Cafe, go to cajucafe.com. So let's jump right in. Sam, you're running for Congress.
Well, yeah, but you just mentioned the Grateful Dead. I have an old friend. I met him during the Jerry Brown campaign, 1992. Name was John Barlow. He wrote a few songs for the Grateful Dead. He took me to something I didn't realize how heavy it was. I had an all-access pass to a Grateful Dead. So
you could go right by
in San Francisco area.
Go right through.
But anyway,
I
just thought he also was head of something called and founder of the Electronic Frontier. Google that sometime. Find out why the NSA doesn't like them.
Does that involve LSD?
No, it doesn't involve any LSD, but, Grateful Dead, hey, anything went.
That's true, too. In fact, they're still playing one of the songs that he wrote. This tunes go on forever.
A decade-long jam.
It's like an open jam. It's like, let's
Someone listening knows the history of John Barlow, and they're going to say, that guy knew John Barlow?
I've heard of John Barlow. This is what's fascinating about Sam is I think other things pop in people's mind when they think of you,
Well, that's what she said when the bed broke.
I mean, some of the...
Okay.
So that's how we're going to roll. By the way, are you the first hippie to ever run for Congress?
I don't know. I never knew I was a hippie. But, hey, what the hell? You live long enough, you could be almost anything.
True.
The issue is, what do you survive?
You can be hip and not be a hippie.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
You guys are hip. You're not hippies.
No, I'm not hip.
No, you
just broke one.
Yeah, Shawn is rose hips. That's what they have on that multivitamin he takes every day.
I'm not hip.
That's how he gets that amber glow.
You're cool, Shawn.
Is that because I accepted our introduction without pushback?
Well, you can push back. It's all good.
No, I didn't back then.
Well, it's okay. You pushed back more than you knew.
Do you guys
You
know?
had looks of utter disgust.
What is the story
That's a
there?
pushback.
Do you know how we met?
I do not.
He was a councilman, right? Clyde Cleveland was in a bit of trouble. I want to say domestic.
Yeah. There was some trouble between he and his wife. Yeah.
He got in a little bit of trouble. So it was early 2000s, and I was sent out to his house. I want to say it was at the University of Detroit, in northwest
It was off of
Detroit.
Palmer Park, actually, over in that area, off 7
Okay,
Mile.
so it's a two-story. I walk up, I knock on the door, nobody answers, and I back up, and there's a window open up top. It slings open, and I hear this voice, a man trying to sound like a woman speaking Spanish who spoke English. And it's Sam Riddle acting like the housekeeper saying, "Nobody's home." Well, that's how I met Sam Riddle. Nobody's home.
That's partially true. The reality is that it was a woman you heard, not me.
No, but the story's much better when it's you.
Well, yeah, I know.
No, he's coaching the housekeeper, telling me to say nobody's home.
Exactly. Because
see, that's what happens when you have a consigliere like Sam.
The
he can
ultimate
handle
puppeteer.
every situation.
Yeah. That's how we met.
yeah, okay, I remember.
And Shawn just went away. See, I would have climbed the gutters. I'd have been up the.
I don't remember what I did. I probably yelled up and.
Well, yeah, you did. The fact that you were snooping around was significant.
Snooping. I knocked on the front door.
Well, It's off 7 Mile, man.
This was Shawn when he was on the news team.
Yeah.
And we've both spent a lot of time with Sam. I drove, if you read the Free Press, Sunday's edition, you can see a link on our website. I drove to Saginaw with Sam, and we were on our way back from Saginaw back in 2009 when he got a phone call from Monica Conyers, who had just pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery. She must have been outside the federal courthouse because she had her cell phone, but she calls Sam and says, how do you think this is going to affect my political career? And Sam says, it's pretty much going to end it. And she's like, really? And now Sam is running for office. Monica was running for office. She got booted from the ballot. She was running for Wayne County executive. Hasn't really talked to us very much, or at all for that matter, about why she's running. While she talked to Sam on the phone for quite a while that day, when I called her last week, she just hung up. But Sam is running for Congress on a pretty sweeping platform to both serve Democrats and stick it to Democrats.
Yeah.
National Democrats.
Well, yeah, because, in, when was it? Hell, the first National Black Political Convention, I believe it was 1972. We had that convention in Gary, Indiana. One of the Flint, Michigan, Genesee County commissioners, his first cousin was a guy named Gary Hatcher, one of the first black mayors in America. And he was convening the first National Black Political Convention. And the reason it was being convened was because the National Democratic Party back then, 50 years ago or whenever, was doing the same thing it's doing now, just taking us for granted. Votes in the hip pocket. Treat them any old way. Hell, in Michigan, you can lose a race to Janice Winfrey, and they'll elevate you to lieutenant governor. Just lose, Garland Gilchrist.
Now, hadn't Fannie Lou Hamer had a national black political convention before 72?
She had a party, the Freedom Now Party, I believe it was. And again, confrontations. I think that was Chicago. That was the year that
I know it's in the 60s.
Daley was there, and it was like a major league confrontation with the police and everything. But the point is that the Democratic Party has a history of betraying its most loyal constituents, and those are black voters, us. And quite frankly, black America deserves better. But hell, you got these yahoos in the Republican Party that choose a guy like Donald Trump, known white nationalist, known white supremacist, known draft dodger, and what the hell.
But to your point, what did he always say?
Private bone spurs, right?
He always said, what have you got to lose? Because he said the same thing you said.
No, and he had a valid point.
Yep.
And he picked up 5,000 more votes in Detroit in 2020 than 2016. That had to be some black
And let me say this. I take great pride in one of the women that I work with, a state representative. She was the one Trump had her personal phone number. She had Trump's personal phone number. They would speak. And it's State Representative Karen Whitsitt. Her calls and conversations with this Republican white nationalist freed Kwame Kilpatrick. You've heard of him, haven't you, NML?
I am, but you're bragging about getting Kwame Kilpatrick out of prison?
All I'm saying is what happened. Who's bragging? Kwame Kilpatrick is the ultimate, ingrate, narcissist. What can I say about Kwame?
Should he be out?
Yes, he should be out. 28 years is too many years. You do the crime, you're going to do some damn time. But 28 years was too many damn years. Hell, you could have walked up, shot someone in the face, killed him, and got less time. In Detroit.
Let me ask you a question, Sam. Mike's got this new column at the Free Press. He writes about you, and I want to say he slips Kwame Kilpatrick in that column at least twice. Were you offended?
You think I'm not offended because we are the sum total. Whether it's ML, Mike. I think you're getting real familiar too, Shawn.
Yes,
I think he's a little familiar, ML. But the point is,
you're the one falling for the propaganda by calling him ML.
Every other column, Shawn slips something interesting in.
Yeah, well, he works at it.
Yeah.
He works at it. But the point is that we are the sum total of our experiences. ML's experience, his Pulitzer, was founded on Kwame Kilpatrick. Even though the lawyer that provided the material was trying to drive a settlement for Gary Brown. What can I say?
Well, when you're talking about the 2000s, as I like to think of them as the awful aughts, That was the Kwame Kilpatrick decade. And Shawn, people who maybe be a little more sophisticated and literate realized that we were writing about something that was going on in 2009 with public corruption. How do you write about public corruption in 2009 and not mention Kwame Kilpatrick? I would like to have seen a talented wordsmith like yourself do that, Shawn.
I'm not talented at all. I just thought it was.
It's like writing about the Detroit Tigers and not mentioning baseball.
What do you mean getting too familiar? With you?
No, with Mike, ML.
Yeah, he's been told many times that the proper way to address
Mike and I
me...
have been in a hot tub together. What do you mean?
Mr. Elric and your lordship. Those are the two ways Shawn is supposed to address me.
You want to see a lot of pasty? Yeah, that's not a sight at all.
And as people who are watching us on YouTube channel ML Elric, please subscribe. I like this layout better because Shawn cannot make direct eye contact with me. This is much better.
without hurting my neck.
Yeah.
By turning.
All those gobblers come swinging around. It's like Charles Kuralt on a trampoline. I love it.
Oh, my God. He's been calling me turkey neck for 20 years. We've been in a hot tub together. I do have to say he has a six-pack underneath.
Wait. You've been in a hot tub with Sam?
No, with you.
No, not with me. Not with me.
By the way,
was I roofied? Because I do not remember that. Now, Shawn...
Sam
has been in a shower with Charlie, so
Charlie came around.
Speaking
when
of
I was
familiarity,
showering with the camera.
Yeah,
at the Y.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't share a shower.
Detroit.
So
I never shared a shower with Charlie.
Okay,
he's a former cheerleader in Ann Arbor, you know.
Oh yeah.
Some people speculate he doesn't shower.
Yeah, he's spent so much time trying to be cool that he's not cool.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, when you try to be cool, how in the hell can you be cool? You know, wearing those dusty cowboy knockoff boots? Come on.
You once hit him hard because you accused him of being a white guy wearing skinny jeans, and Charlie has a pretty thick skin.
No.
But I remember him afterwards.
The word was an older white guy wearing skinny jeans.
And Charlie is pretty cool, and he does have a pretty thick skin, but I remember that afterwards he was walking around the station going, I don't wear skinny jeans. What's he talking about, skinny jeans?
You know, it's difficult disliking
They're boot
Charlie.
cut.
I've tried to dislike Charlie. It's very difficult.
Yeah, no, he's the prodigal son.
But he's a right-wing Yahoo lunatic sometimes.
Mark.
The bromance with Tucker Carlson's kind of tough.
Mark, can I ask you a corporate question?
Well, wait a sec. You can disagree with people and be friendly with them.
That's right.
I hate Shawn.
That's right.
Exactly. There you go.
Thank you.
I don't hate anyone.
I love you, and I don't mind turning my neck to you to look at you to say that. Mark, can I ask you a corporate question real quick?
Sure.
Why are you and I in Solo Detroit T-shirts or garb every Tuesday? And this guy over here, whose name is on the moniker of the show, is in a Michigan State shirt.
He's so modest he doesn't want to wear something with his name on it.
Is it modesty?
Yeah, right.
So at some point we're going to get to Sam, but this is one of the things with this show, Sam. Shawn hates it when other people, lay down instructions or guidelines, but he is the wardrobe police. He's like, you got to wear this, you got to wear that.
Well, I have on a shirt with Al Sharpton's name on it, founder of the organization I'm political director of for Michigan.
Yeah, there's a purpose behind that.
Network. No, I just left the demonstration at the city-county building, which our National Action Network was supporting, trying to recover the $600 million looted by the ineptitude, the incompetence of the Duggan administration.
Bing administration. Remember the overtaxation happened under Bing.
Yeah, but it started then.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I just thought you wanted to cover up that tie.
Was that the same Bing administration that once hired Karen Dumas?
Boy, we're getting into all over the network business.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's not talk about that.
No.
I was just going to let it rip with Karen, and she was very kind. I love you, Karen, wherever you are.
Yeah.
I love you.
Well, no, it's very...
But you don't really, but that's...
It's very interesting to see people talk about overtaxation, and Dave Bing's name rarely comes up in this, and Duggan, whether he did a good enough job or not, did lower assessments and appraisals and get the whole city reappraised, but this was one of the things that happened when Dave Bing was mayor, where, I think the way you judge mayors is based on ribbons the next mayor cuts. And that's why I think Kwame Kilpatrick was such a terrible mayor, because Kenny Cockrell Jr. and Dave Bing didn't get to cut any ribbons. Kilpatrick cut a bunch of ribbons that Dennis Archer made happen, including the All-Star Game, the Super Bowl, CompuWare, you name it. I guess you could say Kilpatrick helped bring Gilbert downtown, so that's somewhat significant.
And to his credit, Dan Gilbert is now doing some good. helping folks stay in their home.
No, he's helping all those people who are renters because he put them out of their house when their mortgages.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go into that too.
Yeah,
No, you just said it.
He doesn't want to bounce them twice.
Nothing is as it seems.
Because if he bounces them twice, they can't come work at his restaurant.
You should look a gift horse in the mouth in the case of Dan.
Speaking
Gilbert.
of horses, no, we don't need to talk about that, do we, Sam?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Been looking forward to hearing that
That's
story.
cryptic.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no.
Well, now you have to.
But Dave Bing left very few gifts for his successor, and but anyway, we're off the rails. All right, I knew this was going to happen when Shawn comes back on vacation. He had a Red Bull yesterday. He's still kind of amped up.
Oh.
But Sam, we want to talk about your career and your political. But I got to ask you about Monica before we move on. What do you make of her running for county executive, and what was it like to work with her, for her?
Well, let me just say this. I love Monica Conyers. I love the Conyers family. I have had great insight into her, and I mean, again, she's a lot brighter than people give her credit for being.
She got a law degree.
Well, she just got a master's in public administration, a bachelor's degree, and a Juris Doctor. I mean, she earned those degrees on her own, and she's an extremely bright black woman. And the streets of Detroit actually love Monica Conyers. I was surprised that she picked a county exec to file for, given the way that the Kwame Kilpatrick law works. That law that would prevent her from serving, I believe, is a law that was designed expressly for Kwame Kilpatrick because white folks don't trust black folks because we're too forgiving. We believe in redemption, and they knew that without that law, Kwame Kilpatrick would make a great comeback, as he predicted, as you're well aware of. That to me flies
set
in
him
the
up for
face.
that comeback.
That flies to me in the face of what democracy should be about. Democracy should not be about punitive. If an individual has done the time, accepted responsibility for their behavior and actions, and there's some question as to whether or not he's done that all the way down the line.
Well, he told the Today Show he's apologized so many times. Detroit's sick of hearing it. I'm thinking, I'd like to hear it the first time, let alone a second or third. But
like I said, that's
this is Shawn's favorite subject. So we got to
it's
get
not all redemptive.
No,
some
please.
of it should be punitive, shouldn't it? If you commit a crime.
Well, no, you